Good morning. It is Wednesday, April 16th. This is day 6 after my all-on-4 procedure that I had done on Thursday uh, last week. Uh, let's see. It's about 7:30 in the morning. I dropped off my kid at school, so no opiates. Um, Swelling has gone down quite a bit. I've been taking the ibuprofen, 600 milligrams, a lot, but you know, not a lot to take all at once, but a lot to take consistently for over a week. But I feel okay. Um, that Taking that obviously it does help for pain. Also a bunch for the swelling, which is going down. That's much better. Um, the arches still feel funny. Obviously, I mean, it's been less than a week. I'm not used to them yet. I'm learning how to talk better. Uh, some sounds sound bad. If I'm not careful, S's sound pretty sloppy, like sloppy. Um, CH isn't, it's not crisp. It sounds, like chew chew. Sounds like I'm, sounds like I'm talking through prosthetics, which I am. So, hopefully that uh, diminishes over time. Uh, but in general speaking, is getting better and better. As far as pain is concerned, at this point, it's more weird uh, feelings of pressure. Uh, I'm still terrified to bite down. I don't want to put pressure on the implants. Tomorrow, Thursday, I go in for my first uh, post-op, review of what's going on in here. Uh, I'm really comfortable with where the top arch is. The bottom arch feels like it's set forward maybe a little bit. Uh, and it just overall kind of feels bulky. And I'm hoping that doing some adjustment tomorrow can resolve that. Uh, yeah, I don't know what we can do. I'll talk to them and see what the end result of that is. But I'm not going to leave their office until I'm satisfied with, the bite. Right now, it doesn't quite close correctly. Like feels like it could be moved backwards by about a millimeter, which would then lock it into place. Right now, it seems a little bit forward and doesn't quite set into the groove. Hmm? The groove in those middle teeth at the bottom outside edge fits into that groove on both sides and locks in when you bite. That's why when you bite, you can't move your jaw. It's nice and solid. Right now, I can move stuff even if I were to like clamp down. I can move it around because the teeth are touching each other here instead of like here and locking in. So we'll see what we can do about getting that resolved. So that leads me to talking a little bit about um, some of the procedure on the day when they were finished with the surgery and they had sewn me all up. Kind of what happens when they wake you up. First of all, I mean, I was put under, which is what I wanted. I didn't, I've heard other people going through this kind of thing awake. Not for me. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nope. So, I was put under, and so when I woke up, of course, I was really, really groggy. I had I did some funny stuff when I woke up because people do. Uh, but when they wake you up is when they're making your your arches, and then they have to fit them into your mouth. They've already put the implants in, so what they need to do is set the teeth in the right place, and then they basically manipulate your jaw up and down for you because I mean, I remember them doing it and telling me to bite and stuff. I don't remember me doing it. It was like I wasn't taking part in what they were telling me to do. It's more like they were just moving my jaw around and doing things. So That's what it's going to feel like, is that they're doing things and you have no control and you're confused. You're trying to, like, come on. I do remember they grabbed my mouth and they handed me a mirror and they pulled my lips back so I could see the teeth and stuff. And I was like, oh, wow. But I was like, wow, I'm so high. Is this real? Is this really happening right now? So it wasn't this aha moment like, oh my God, I'm beautiful. No, I was so, so high. Uh, that, yeah. Um, but yeah, that's what it felt like. So just be prepared that they're going to do things and they have to because you're high and you're not going to comply or do the right things. Or, I mean, you've got your own ideas when you're high about what's happening. And so when they tell you to do this or that, you might try a little bit. I mean, I guess your mileage might vary, but in my case, I was so high that whatever they needed to do everything. So after they fitted everything and did that as best they could, they told me to go ahead and bite. And when I bit, the teeth touched each other, and I could tell that I couldn't close my mouth and that there was no lock. It wasn't set quite right. And man, I was upset. Oh, I was pissed off. And I was like pointing at it, like, I can't, and they're like, dude, you can talk. And I'm like, no, can't, and they're like, you can talk. I was so high, I didn't even realize I could speak. And I could have, but I didn't really get it out. So when I was like, finally, apparently got out the message that the teeth weren't sitting properly and my bite wasn't closing, they were like, we'll revisit that in a week when you do your post-op and you come back and we make adjustments. So, you know, am I happy that it doesn't lock right now? No. But it doesn't matter because I haven't been able to use them anyway. You're not supposed to bite. You're not supposed to clench down. Supposed to like leave them alone, let them heal up, drink liquids for a week, so that you can then have them adjusted, and then you can start using them on soft foods. And when they say soft foods, they mean anything that you can cut with the edge of a plastic fork. Anything tougher than that, you shouldn't eat it. They do consider ground beef to be soft food, so that's all right. I can eat ground beef. As long as you can cut it with the edge of a plastic fork, you can eat it. So there's plenty of food. That's most of the food I was eating prior to this anyway. Most people do eat soft food. There's very few things that we crunch into, but like, celery, carrots, apples, things like that. You're not supposed to chew on those for a while. Not until you get your permanent sets. But, uh, yeah, I do have some bruising. A little bit of bruising down here on this side, a little over here. I don't know if I can show you. It's pretty tough, but I have a lot of there. See, a lot of bruising in the upper lip. So there's still damage in there. It still doesn't feel perfect. It doesn't feel great. I think, you know, that's still a lot of my discomfort. And of course, thinking about them trying to align the bite after post-op. I mean, first they've had you like stretched open, your jaw stretched open for what, like 3-4 hours, and really pulled open as far as they can. Your lips pulled back and everything stretched like that. You will get a little bit of chapped lips. Your lips were stretched for 4 hours, so you get little micro cracks in there and they dry out a little bit. And so you get some dead skin over the next few days while they're healing up. That's totally normal. I still don't feel anything here, which is a little concerning because it is day 6. I'm hoping that when this swelling goes down on top of this nerve here, that I'll get some of that back. But I'll be talking to them about this tomorrow too. With any kind of facial surgery or any type of surgery at any time where they got to go in and cut tissue, there's possibilities of putting pressure on um, nerves, or even, cutting through nerves and doing damage that way. I mean, across the front of your jaw here, there's two connections here, but those major nerve endings, they cross over the front of your jaw here. So having, all those teeth yanked out and pulled out and, surgery done there, it's quite possible that something was either nicked or that just swelling is putting pressure on the nerve, causing a lack of, feeling. Uh, that could be super temporary. Might come back within the next days. Might come back today. I don't know. Uh, could never come back. It's possible. I mean, who knows? There's always risks, and you know what you're getting into when you're getting, you know, surgeries done, reconstructive type. Anything where they got to mess with your bones or go look, more than skin deep. There's possibilities of things that don't quite go quite the way you want. But overall, I mean, no real complications. I mean, everything seems to be healing really well. No weird smells, no oozing, no, there's no sign of infection whatsoever, so that's good. I'm on my last day of amoxicillin. I have one more to take this evening at 6, and then that's the end of my antibiotic cycle. This morning I took the last steroid, which again is for healing and swelling. That helps a lot. Ibuprofen at this point is just the main quote-unquote painkiller, and helping to reduce inflammation and swelling. They said guys don't normally get as much swelling. I think I probably got a little more swelling than normal. That's just my experience. I think I got a little more than most men experience. They said that women have a tendency to experience the most swelling and bruising. So you could, like I said, that's not just facial scruff. That's, I've got some bruising here and some bruising here. Obviously, you can see the bruise across the inside of my mouth was pretty beat up. But all in all, things seem to be going well. I will give an update tomorrow after I've gone in for my adjustments and let you know how that goes. So far, the people at Riva Dental Implant Center in Gilbert, we're all really great people. They, they're providing a service that, when you go in there, you're really nervous. We know the price is extreme, so it's like they don't talk to you like used car salesmen. If you go any place and they talk to you and it sounds like a used car salesman who's not giving you all the information you want, walk away. Walk away. There's a lot of people out there doing this. I don't care where you go. I don't know all the ins and outs about who's the most advanced or whatever. But the most important thing is, while your insurance considers this to be a cosmetic procedure and doesn't want to cover it, if you're going this far, it's because you need to. Has very little to do with my smile and everything to do with quality of life and ending pain, right? So this is really a procedure that is removing painful, hurtful appendages and just getting rid of them and replacing them with a prosthetic. That's what So, if any of these places are talking down to you or not treating you right or whatever, just walk away. Call somebody else. Find the place that you're most comfortable with. Be aware it's going to be expensive. Don't try to go cheap. There's ways to save money, for sure. For me, like, obviously you can go out of country. I got a friend who just had a similar procedure done. I actually just found out because he wasn't really talking about it in public. But through talking to him privately, I found out that he had just had his same all-on-4 stuff done, and he had stuff down in Mexico, and he's very happy with what he had done. For me, I don't travel a whole lot, so staying local to me was more important. I felt that with the amount of surgery that was going to be done, that if I had any type of emergencies or complications afterward, it was far better to be 45 minutes away from the the people who did this than a 3 or 4 day planning trip to Mexico and another country. Who knows? I wasn't interested in that. So I'm definitely paying for that convenience of being local, where Other people are saving money by, you know, I feel like it's taking a chance, but other people might not. But this really isn't about the particular providers of this service. It's more just about the procedure itself. It's becoming more and more common. I actually looked into it for about 5 years before contacting any place and talking to them about doing this. The reason I went with the people I went with is they were really upfront. They were very forthcoming. They didn't balk about the price. They were straightforward with it. Yeah, say it's expensive. It's like, this is how much it is. And you don't haggle for it or anything like that. You don't, well, there's none of that. It's, here's how much it costs. Here's what we do. Here's why we do that. And they were, really forthcoming with that information. And I appreciated that honesty, and the reasoning behind why they do what they do. Also, everybody who does this, these all-on-4s, have some slightly different variations on why they perform different procedures in different ways. Like, there are some I've heard that do literally permanent teeth in a day. No way. You need to heal between the surgery and getting your permanent teeth. Otherwise, you're going to have a gross gap in between the appliance and your gum forever, unless you get the appliance replaced. That's going to collect food. It's going to be difficult to clean. You have to go through this outrageous kind of scrubbing, like weird flossing procedure where you got to try to get something, this thing in between your gum line and the teeth in the back and scrub around. I was concerned about having a 45-minute cleaning procedure being part of my daily routine for the rest of my life. I didn't want that. And with these, the way they are, and when I get my permanents that match my actual healed gum line, and they said there won't be any gaps, um, so food particles won't be able to get trapped in there and stuff. At most, I'll need a water pick just to flush out stuff to keep it clean underneath, but you can't floss. You can't get a flosser in between there. So, and once those are in, brush your teeth 2-3 times a day, depending on how you want. I mean, if you want to brush after every meal, that's very healthy. It's a good, clean thing to do. At this point, I'm like, where once upon a time I didn't have a great oral hygiene routine. Now I can't wait for it. I'm like, I want to keep them clean. They look great. It feels better when they're clean. My gums are healthier. My tongue is healthier. Everything's just better. So, yeah, I'll be able to brush my teeth, multiple times a day after meals. I could swish, with good mouthwash, and use a water pick to spray out any particles that might be missed by a toothbrush or whatever. In any case, that's where I'm at. Sorry for ranting and rambling a little bit. But, yeah, I'll give another update tomorrow after I go in and get my adjustments done. And at this point, yeah, I'm just going to get some more rest today. That's what I'm doing. So, if you have any questions, comment, whatever, leave me a message, whatever. I'll answer them if I see them. Otherwise, have a good day.